Hi Pisces, welcome to your Oracle of Love for singles. This will be a general reading for those wanting to see if romance is coming in and if so with whom. Pisces. Okay, you've got the King of Pentacles. This is strong earth energy. This is in particular someone under the sign of Taurus that may be coming in with the King of Pentacles. This is someone who is quite learned, someone who is quite experienced, does have stability around them. So I feel like they come from stability. So they may have had relationships in their past that have been ongoing for quite some time. I don't think they're into very fleeting relationships. The King of Pentacles, this energy around them is that they are wanting stability, that they are quite established in life. The King of Pentacles is someone who has worked towards his career, or she, it could even be a she. They have worked towards their career, they have achieved their studies, they've attained their educational degrees, certificates, diplomas. They're really at a good place in life. There could be someone older than you, someone who's well traveled. I feel like they've ticked a lot off their bucket list, Pisces, so they've accomplished quite a bit. The King of Pentacles is seen as quite an accomplished figure. There could be wealth around this person. They could work in an industry where there's a lot of wealth, the stock market, financial institutions, property development. They do have wealth around them. Maybe they have a very strong establishing energy around them, which is good. This is someone that's quite mature. Could be someone under the sign of a Taurus as well. You could meet in the time of Taurus. Okay, the Page of Wands. This person is quite passionate. There's a lot of movement around this person, whether or not that's due to work or whether or not that's due to personal travel. This person likes to be on the move. They could be quite adventurous. The Page of Pentacles is fire, so they could be a little bit temperamental as well in their personality. It's almost like communication is coming in quite quickly with the Page of Wands. This person is quite flirtatious. I think they might even be sending you messages now. So you might already know this person, as the Page of Wands is often seen as a friend or someone that you're in talks with already. So for some of you Pisceans out there, you already know this person, and they might have instigated flirtatious messages towards you, and this might be something, you know, you're getting excited about. And it might just only be new, like you already know this person for a while, but the fact that they're sending through these messages says that this romance or this connection is stepping up a notch. With the Page of Wands, something about a trip as well, adventure. You might meet when you're on a trip or they're on a trip. This can be an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, or they might have fire in their chart. They might be a mix of earth and fire. And as I said that, my candle went out. Okay. Okay, Queen of Swords. This is someone that's quite intelligent. There's a lot of witty banter with this person. There's a lot of communication coming in with the Page of Wands, with the Queen of Swords. I feel like for some of you, if you don't already know this person, you will either be introduced to them through a fire sign or an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, possibly a Taurus. You will be introduced to this person through communication, through friends, through networking on some opportunity here. But a lot of commonality, a lot of common interest with this person, with the Queen of Swords. She does rule communication, she does rule thought, she rules air energy, so they can be quite youthful and have this energy about them. They can be, they can be quite blunt at certain times. They're coming up as the Queen of Swords, but they are, for the most part, imaginative and creative and analytical. They could work within the law industry, in the legal system, maybe again with finances. I feel like they have a really, really good career. Their career might have taken them to a lot of places. It could be in travel and tourism as well. I think they're on the move, or they previously have maybe lived elsewhere as an expat in a different country maybe. they're quite direct. You may be thrown off by how direct they will be, possibly with the Queen of Swords. But there's a lot of common interest. They're full of fun facts maybe, or they're able to switch the conversation and hold a conversation about numerous different topics. Money, finances, films, history, passion, travels. There's definitely an introduction, or you might start communicating online even. Queen of Wands is coming up as well. This is a strong Leo. A lot of passion around this person. They are quite spiritual and open-minded as well. They could be quite superstitious. They might have pets, in particular a cat. We do see a cat or a kitten here. They love animals. They have a very nurturing side to them. They're quite open-minded. They could love nature, in particular a certain flower. It doesn't have to be what looks like a sunflower or a daisy or anything, but they do have a passion, I think, for gardening or for landscapes or being out with nature, because we can see with the king and then with the queen, there's this sort of, lush landscape around them. So I think if they are an earth sign, they really do like the finer things in life. They're all about the senses, but they have an appreciation for nature, animals. Maybe they could work with animals, nature, spirituality as well, or volunteer their time to work with those causes. It could be a Leo. Something significant could happen in the time of Leo as well. But I think there's a very strong physical attraction to this person. Now, what's interesting is that there's a lot of people here. So they're either extremely social, Pisces, much more so than you. They have a lot of friends. They're very well connected. They know people in high places maybe. But they also have a lot of admirers, I think, as well. So I don't think they're in a relationship now. I think there's a lot of people that are potentially flirting with them, or they're flirting with them back, or they're just being introduced to a lot of people. So I think they're at a stage in their life where they are searching for someone. So maybe they've gone through speed dating, because there is a lot of queens here. There's 2 females, 2 males. So regardless of the gender of this person, I think they have sort of experimented with dating apps or speed dating or something of the sort. It's almost like they have a lot of people around them, or have had around them as well. But if it's like past relationships, I feel like it's been stable, and I feel it's I feel they've had stability with these people, which they're capable of. So the 2 of Swords, they could, the time you meet, they might have another person around them that's also vying for their attention, for their love, etc. So they're almost at a crossroads. They could be at a crossroads in relationships, or they could be closing themselves off to something. It's almost like they're blinded by something and they can't see it, or they're at a crossroads. They have choices. They're at a fork in the road. It could be with relationships. It could even be with career. It's something that they've said no to. It's almost like they're resisting something here. So they're definitely resisting. I think at the time when you come in, they're resisting these a fire queen maybe and an air queen, or she's resisting, this earth man or a fire man. So it's possible. It's possible that they're choosing between people, or that they're just blocking something else, something that they have to come to reconciliation with or realization with, and they're blocking this thing out. So it could even be you, Pisces. You might be choosing between 2 people when this person comes around. There could be 2 people coming in, 2 different people. Could be air. I mean, there's everything here. We have earth, fire, air. We don't have water though, so I don't sense it's another water sign. It could be most prominently one of the signs, one of the elements that are coming up here. So it could be that there's 2 different people coming in, vying for your attention, Pisces, wanting commitment, and maybe you're blinded. Maybe you're being blinded by the messages someone is sending to you, and you don't realize the flirtation that's going on, or the undertone of these messages. You might think it's just friendly banter, but from what I can see, it's possibly more, and you're sort of maybe blinded to someone's what someone is trying to tell you or show you through their action. You're maybe being blinded and not seeing what the messages are behind it. This person might even wear glasses. We do see a blindfold on. This person might wear glasses, Pisces. Okay, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is coming charging in. You do have the Page, you do have the Knight. This is someone that is quite forward with their affections. So you might be quite guarded with them, especially in terms of public displays of affection and whatnot. But the Knight of Wands is someone who is quite forward. It is something that happens quite fast. It could indicate a departure or a swift energy. This person may be traveling. There may be a time limit around you, but I think it could be physical intimacy that takes place very, very soon. Maybe messaging back and forth towards each other. It could get quite heated, things like this. I think they're quite forward in that sense, and I can see they're quite sexual with the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands, and they won't hesitate to tell you this. They're not shy about these things. It could be that the relationship moves quite quickly as well, or there's very alluring sexual energy around them, Pisces, that you find very, very appealing. Again, something about movement. Either they work out a lot, move around a lot, they're quite active, or they have to travel for work, or they have done a lot of traveling in their past. Okay, Two of Swords. This is a beautiful energy. The Two of Swords have come up down here, but in this Egyptian deck, it is a different meaning. The Two of Swords in this deck represents friendship, protection, collaboration. So it's not the blindfold, it's not being despaired and, doubt and being at a crossroads. It's actually about things aligning very, very nicely. So on some level, your frequencies are lining up and you're on the same wavelength. So I think you're definitely wanting the same things here. Again, this does speak about friendship, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of you already know this person. Perhaps you're already a friend, an associate, a colleague, or you've been introduced to this person through friends, in particular an air sign here, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But this is potentially indicative that you will build a strong relationship on an existing friendship or on an existing partnership already. So to start off as friends would be the best for the two of you, because this is how you'll know you're aligning and you're on the same path. You're both quite direct, and you're side by side with each other. We see the swords side by side, so it's definitely someone around you in your social circle or your friend circle, or someone that you will be introduced to very soon. But you're on the same wavelength, your frequencies are matching up. So you might find that you have a lot of, as I said, common interest, commonality with this person. You might find that a lot of this, what this person does, maybe their career, their interests, their hobbies resonate with yours. Okay, the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles is about division of goods, fairness, dispersal. It's almost like you'll be sharing sharing your possessions with this person with the Four of Pentacles. Again, they could work in this sort of industry where there's dispersal of finances, goods, assets, services. They could work at a distribution center, but the word distribution comes to mind with this deck here. And it is division of goods. So maybe if they work in the legal industry, they could be a divorce lawyer, or they could be, in conveyancing or litigation, but they're really meticulous in how they distribute goods or services towards companies, etc., businesses, people as well, assets and finances. So this is coming through here. Again, this shows fairness and equality as the underlying tone of your relationship, which is good. Earth energy here, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. You seem to have a strong Taurus, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo in particular that's coming in here. Okay, the Chariot. This is a Cancer or Cancer energy. This is someone who is quite successful. Again, balance, the black, the brown and the white sphinxes, balance here. Balance between the two of you. Very equal balance of masculine and feminine, or just a very harmonious balance between the two of you and your personalities. Again, they could be quite successful. They might have their own business or start their own business later on in life. You might meet through these sort of successful events or gala nights maybe. But I think the Chariot is representative of emotion and success. So we see that there's you'll definitely have feelings for this person, and the emotion is what's going to drive you. And as a Pisces, that's just you. But you will definitely feel a very strong bond towards this person with the Chariot card here. Again, it could be a Cancer. This time could be significant for you maybe. But this person, it's almost like you've seen this person before or they've seen you. So you're aware of who this person is. You have some idea, or someone's mentioned their name before. So this will come up again with the Chariot because it's familiarity, but it's almost like looking at someone at a distance. So I don't think it's more an online connection or online dating or anything. I think it's more you're being introduced to someone, or you'll be meeting face to face together. They could work with vehicles, again, distribution, movement, dispersal, imports and exports as well. Okay, the Knave of Swords has come up. Now, the Knave of Swords is very much a message. It's documentation, it's communication, charisma. It's what looks like a scribe, so he's obviously writing something down. So this person could be quite creative. They could be quite open with their communication. They might like to write a lot of things down. Maybe they have to write a lot of things down for their profession. They could also be studying as well, or teach in some aspect, because they do have the Queen of Swords in conjunction with the Knave of Swords. This could be someone that teaches, directs, sort of leads from the front. But there's definitely written communication, so an email, a text message of some kind that's coming in here, whether it's from a friend first because they'd like to introduce you to this person, or, you know, you're already in talks with this person with the Knave of Swords. And for some of you, you will help manifest this person by writing what it is that you want out of this future lover or future partner. It's almost like using the law of attraction to manifest. It's almost like you're writing a script about them, writing about them in the present tense, that you're so thankful for having this person and inviting them into your life, using that law of attraction, using those manifestation energies you have about you. But look, this is really exciting, Pisces. You definitely have someone that's quite the whole package coming in. Now, I will leave it at that. I'd like to look into your this person's past relationship and what it is they were lacking, or why their relationship didn't work, and what it is that they're searching for now, and what it is that they're searching for when they meet you. So let's have a look into this person's past relationship. Pisces. Who's this person that's coming in? What was their past relationship like? Okay, the Tower card. It was quite a destructive relationship. It didn't work for one reason or another. Things happened really quickly. There could have been major endings that happened very suddenly. We do see the lightning. You know, we do see these people falling. So it's almost like it was it was a destructive or even a toxic relationship, and this person walked away from it because they saw how toxic it was between the two of them. The Tower card can indicate that things happened very, very quickly. So things might have ended really quickly, and it might have been quite messy. So although this person has quite a mature and refined energy about them, I feel they had probably gone through hell and back when they left this relationship. The Tower card, it's dark, it's destructive, there's lightning, you know, we see a lighthouse, or a tower, and we just see it's very isolated, yet it's just chaotic. So I think there was a lot of turbulence that went on in this relationship. A lot of things that threw them off. The Tower card can be indicative of people cheating. I don't think it's them. I think it's more someone else that was around them. Or it could be jealousy, but it's just things that were really toxic. It could even be substance abuse. Or it's almost like this other person was, their ex was at a place where it just was dark and gloomy, and you know, things happened really, really quickly. So things were very messy, very destructive, toxic relationship here. Could have been jealousy. It was very, just all over the shop. Okay, 7 of Swords. This is definitely deceit, dishonesty, obstacles, secrecy, keeping things hidden. They might have been, it could have been an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a fire sign that they were with. But the 7 of Swords does reiterate that there was cheating, there was dishonesty, and it did come to light pretty quickly. And once this did come to the surface, I have a feeling this is when the person walked away from their ex, because they just wouldn't tolerate this sort of behavior. So you might hear that someone was purposely, purposely secretive, did things behind their back, weren't honest about a joint finance, or weren't honest about a previous relationship. So I think this person has experienced deceit, and it might have been quite a traumatic relationship, where a lot of things were kept hidden from this person, and they might open up to you, Pisces, and tell you what happened. But you know that those 7 of Swords, it's just spiteful words, I think, were said. I think there might have been a lot of mind games as well, and that's not what this person is looking for. They've literally been on a roller coaster ride with this person here. Now they do have the High Priestess, so this is a big reveal, a big change up. She does reveal big prophecies to us, so I think this person learned a lot from their ex. There might have been a pregnancy involved as well. Perhaps an unplanned pregnancy, or perhaps this other person cheated on the person that's coming towards you, and that, it just caused really just self-destructive behavior, because the High Priestess can represent pregnancy. She has the pomegranate fruits behind her, which do represent fertility. But it's almost like she does give a prophecy. She does reveal the future. So it's almost like this person got a glimpse into what their ex would do to them, would continue lying or cheating or stealing or being secretive. So it's almost like they got a glimpse of the future, and they said, no, I don't want it. I don't want to be in that sort of situation with this person. I don't want to be unhappy. I can see where this is going, and I don't want that life for myself. So it could have been a premonition. They could have had a dream, or just a hunch. They could be quite intuitive, but just a hunch that this person would not change, and they had to leave them. They had to go separate ways, and it's almost like it was a blessing in disguise with the High Priestess. So this person could see how honest their ex was, or how dishonest they were, and they said, it's better to find out sooner rather than later. Okay, 4 of Pentacles. There was a lot of clinging, I think. This person, their ex, could have wanted forgiveness and maybe really clung to them, clung to the idea of a relationship. Maybe they just liked the title. This person that's coming in towards you, Pisces, might still be holding on to some feelings, but I think it's more holding on to bad memories and resentment rather than anything else. I don't think they're bitter now. I think they're at a good place now. But the 4 of Pentacles can indicate this sort of attachment. So maybe there was too much clinginess, and that's not what they're wanting. That's not what they're looking for. So they're definitely wanting someone who's honest, someone who doesn't give them reason to be concerned. They want someone who's quite smooth sailing, doesn't change their mind too often, can follow through with what they say. They don't want those tower moments. They don't like surprises. And this isn't what they're searching for in their next relationship. It could be that children got in the way, or pregnancy. Their ex-partner might not have wanted children, and this as well affected them because they knew they couldn't have a future somehow with this person. Okay, the 8 of Wands. So I think things happened one after another with them with the 8 of Wands. There was a lot of action. This was synchronicity. It's almost like they were brought together for a reason, but they learned quite a lot with each other. They might even still be in communication with each other, but again, I don't think it's good communication. Not that it's messy or bitter or rude or defamatory. It just could be that they either still know each other through mutual friends somehow, but they don't... this person is just completely turned off them because they know exactly who they are, exactly what they've done, and they know they won't change, and they know this person can't be a part of their future. So I think they've reconciled in that aspect, which is good. So they are wanting open lines of communication in their next relationship. They are wanting children, new experiences, new adventures. They don't want secrecy. They don't want to have any reason to be alarmed. They don't want someone that's too clingy, and they don't want any shock surprises. So it's pretty obvious this person is quite honest, truthful, and upholds their integrity. Let's have a look at your relationship will be when you come together, how you'll feel about each other. On the left-hand side, I'll do you, Pisces, and see how you'll feel about this person when you're in a relationship, how they make you feel. Okay, 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles is like trying to do a balancing act. It could be at times you feel like you're on top, and then at other times you're on the bottom here. So there could be a shift in sort of dominance between the two of you. They might be quite demanding of your time, Pisces, and you might have to juggle quite a fair bit in this relationship for their attention. You know, they could be quite demanding because they've come from this sort of relationship, this sort of background. So just keep that in mind. But it's almost like they might want to be dominant at times, or have the upper hand in the relationship. So the 2 of Pentacles is this sort of trying not to fall over. So it could be like sometimes you might feel like you're walking on eggshells around this person. So just be mindful of that, because I think their past traumas might come into play here. And, you know, you're trying to keep them happy and balanced and satisfied, and trying to have the relationship on balance. The Emperor is here, and the Emperor's come up, and the Emperor is quite a stern, tough energy. The Emperor isn't always the easiest, if we think of it personality-wise, isn't always the easiest person. It's quite a tough nut to crack. So with the Emperor, how you'll feel about them, you'll sometimes feel like you've hit a brick wall with them, I think. So it's not going to be easy. It could be at times you feel like you can't sway them, or you can't convince them of something with the Emperor card here. So it could be that they're so set in their ways, there's stubbornness coming from them, and you'll feel this with the Emperor card. You'll feel like this other person might get into these moods, and then you'll feel like you have to walk on eggshells, or you might feel as though you can't break down that barrier that they have up because of either past issues. You know, maybe it's them that cheated. This is something you'll have to find out, but there's definitely cheating or obstacles or dishonesty involved, and it might have been them. Or because of someone doing this to them, they feel, you know, they have their guard up, and this energy that you'll feel towards them as the Emperor when you're in a relationship will be like you not being sure if you're getting through to them or not. So it could be that sometimes you feel like you've hit a brick wall. For some of you, Pisceans, you'll really see this person as your emperor, and you're happy for them to be dominant. You're happy for them to take the reins of the relationship, or to steer the relationship in the direction it needs to go to. And you'll complement each other very well, because some of you might be more submissive and you don't mind having a man or a female coming in that likes to take the reins and likes to lead, and you don't mind, you're okay with going with the flow. But on the other side of the spectrum, others of you don't enjoy that and will not have a man or a woman put it over you or lead you or try and steer the relationship. You just won't have it because you think you're really big on equality, or you think that, you know, maybe you have that sort of dominant personality where you like to be leading the relationship. Okay, Magician. You definitely feel like fruitful new beginnings can happen with this person. The Magician is someone who manifests beautiful things for himself, things that can happen almost overnight. So a part of you might feel like this person has come in and they're just magic. They've just appeared overnight. They fulfill everything you had hoped for, maybe everything you had written down here, everything that you had imagined in your visualizations or your affirmations maybe. And you feel that there is potentially new fruitful beginnings. There's possibly fertility for some of you with this person, to have children or to fall pregnant or to even adopt or foster, whether it's pets, animals, or babies or children. So that's a possibility for some of you. Now, the Magician does have a double meaning though. So the Magician can be quite a tricky fellow. So there could be possibly deceit. Maybe this person is not as honest as you thought. So I think you need to give this time, get to know them quite well, because the Magician does sort of, he does deceive us in a way, in a way. The Magician is a figure who manipulates his tricks and manipulates how we see things for entertainment purposes. So it's not like this person is a trickster. It's almost like they may sort of cover the truth a little bit in certain things, maybe from their past or, you know, what they have going on for now. But I feel for the most part you will see wonderful things, wonderful, promising, fertile relationships. Okay, so let's have a look how they'll feel about you when you come together in the relationship. Okay, Three of Pentacles. They're very proud to have you by their side. They could be quite a bit of a show pony, so they'll like to have you by their side. They could be quite big on public displays of affection, because the Three of Pentacles in this deck is glory. It's the glory of Horus. It's advantage, it's celebrity, it's accolades. So I think a lot of people around them will be very much supporting the relationship you have together. You might get on with their friends very well and vice versa, but it's almost like people are admiring the two of you. You could be a power couple, and you're just embracing all this glory. So there's someone that will embrace you. It's someone that will realize how special you are to them. And I think definitely in this relationship, they won't be afraid to put a label to it and say to other people around them, yes, I'm unavailable, you know, yes, I'm taken, yes, I'm seeing someone and she's great or he's great. So I like this. There's a certain pride, but in a good way, in a healthy way, that's coming through from this person here. I hope for the most part it's not superficial, Pisces. It could be on the borderline superficial with the Three of Pentacles, but I think he or she is very enamored by your looks, your physicality, your demeanor, the way you carry yourself with the Three of Pentacles here. There could still be someone around him that might come in, because Three of Pentacles, three is a crowd, and we do have this sort of Seven of Swords looking over to the three. So just be wary. Could be around you, could be around them. The Seven of Swords is looking more to this other person though. So, okay, the King of Wands. Now the King of Wands is someone that's quite mature, someone that's quite, a good advisor, provides guidance, provides help. It's a very benevolent figure. The King of Wands. So this is how they'll see you and how they'll be towards the relationship. So I think for the most part, they want to mentor and guide you. And I think for some of you, this might put you off a little bit because you may think, oh, they're smothering me, or they're providing me too much guidance, and it's too much. I'm my own person. I don't need this. So it just depends on your personality and your nature. But I think for a lot of you, this person will be quite benevolent, will be quite helpful. If anything, they might be too helpful. But they are quite nurturing, which is good. Again, passion. The King of Wands is passion. So they're seeing you as someone who is quite passionate, whether that's in lovemaking, creativity, career. But they are seeing you as someone who is quite successful with the Three of Pentacles, the King of Wands. So it's good. They have a very healthy respect for you for the most part. Okay, the Knight of Chalices. A lot of emotion, potential love here, potentially falling in love. The Knight of Chalices is an offer of emotion. It's a gift, it's a close friend, it's a lover. So for some of you, as I said, it could already be a friend. So you might have already established a connection with this person. But it's someone that wants to spoil you, not only emotionally, but in the physical realm as well, with gifts, etc. But I think they see whether this relationship works out or not, for some it will, for some it won't, they still see you as someone they want to hold close in their life. They still see you as someone they'll want to have around for a very, very long time, because you've just established a really strong emotional connection towards each other, and this person wouldn't want to pass up on that, whether the relationship succeeds or whether it doesn't succeed. They do love you with the Knight of Chalices. This is beautiful emotion. Look, their chalice is here. So this is them proclaiming their love. This is them potentially falling in love with you. My only cautionary advice would be in the middle here, we have the Seven of Swords, which is this obstacle or deceitful energy. It could be you, Pisces. As I said, there could be two people coming in at the same time, could be two different people completely, and you have to choose. So for those that aren't you, I know sometimes you can be fickle and you change your mind and you have to weigh it all up, but for the most part, don't allow this deceit to get in the way of a relationship, of what potentially could be a really beautiful relationship. For others, it could be this person that's doing the tossing up. So just keep an eye out on that. But for the most part, I do see wonderful things. So thank you again for joining me, Pisces. For those after a private reading, please feel free to email me.